All I could think about was tonight. Alyssa was coming, and if Alyssa came, the truth would come out.
My fear became real. Alyssa arrived that evening, but she wasn't alone. She brought our parents with her. I froze upstairs, too scared to step out of his room. My chest tightened. I knew the truth would spill out tonight, and once it did, everything would shatter. Richard was knocking. "Elena, I have a headache," I whispered. "No." Richard's voice left no room for escape. "You're coming down. I want you by my side." My breath caught. Tonight, everything was going to fall apart for sure. He came inside the room while I folded myself under the blanket, pretending to be sick. "That's strange," he said, his eyes on me. "You were perfectly fine just before the guests arrived." I kept my face turned. "I feel weird being downstairs. I'm not a member of your family. I don't even know what I am. All we have is a contractual arrangement. I shouldn't be down there." "I want you down there with me," he said. "Why?" I asked, my eyes lifting to him. He sighed, then lowered himself onto the bed beside me. His arm rested close, his body warm against mine. "Because my ex-wife is down there too." My eyes widened in shock. "Yes," he revealed. "I had no idea Andre had already invited her. I didn't even know she was in the city. But I need you by my side. She has to see that I've moved on, that nothing could ever happen between us. I want her to kill any hope or feelings she has. Any idea she and Andre have planned about us reuniting, she needs to let them die tonight." I swallowed hard, my voice shaking. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I didn't ever want to see him disappointed in me. I wanted to make him happy, always. Why did my heart beat this way for him? Was I falling for him? I rose from the bed, my hand slipping into his, and just like that, I followed him downstairs, knowing exactly what could happen. I paused at the edge of the stairs. My chest rose and fell like I couldn't breathe. I shouldn't be wanting to hide away. This was what I wanted, wasn't it? My big revenge plan, Andre seeing me in his father's arms. Me, not just the shamed bride or the family's disappointment. No, this time I would be standing beside the billionaire Richard Wellington. But now, all I could think about was whether Richard would end us once the truth came out. Would he trust that I'd never told him? Would everything I built in my head blow up in my face? The thought made me want to retreat, my steps itching to take me back upstairs. Richard's hand caught my hand and he led me forward. I couldn't pull away, not even if I wanted to. It felt like I was glued to him, like being with him was the only place I belonged. "Richard, my love, did you miss me?" A tall, slender woman in an elegant dress smiled. "Don't even bother, Susanna." Richard's expression hardened. Oh, so this was her, Susanna, Richard's ex-wife and Andre's mother. I drew a shaky breath as Susanna stepped forward. The whole room turned cold, every eye locking on me, Susanna's jealous stare, my parents' stunned faces, Alyssa's wide-eyed shock, and Andre's obvious anger. Richard's voice broke through the silence. "Welcome, everyone. Meet my partner, Elena." I swore I could hear the sound of jaws dropping. My mom's, my dad's, Alyssa's. Susanna's eyes cut into me with resentment, even though we didn't even know each other. Andre's glare was even worse, blazing with anger that had no trace of remorse. Not from him, not from Alyssa either. Why should I care how they felt? None of them ever asked for my forgiveness. I leaned closer to Richard, pressing into him. All I could do was hope that Andre would stay silent, too afraid to speak, and that my parents would remain dumbfounded, and Alyssa too. Because if any of them opened their mouth tonight, I wasn't sure Richard would still want me in his arms. Alyssa opened her mouth like she wanted to speak, but Andre touched her arm lightly, stopping her. I could hear Andre whisper to her, "Don't say a word." My parents both turned their gazes to me, looking displeased. I froze in between their stares, Andre's mean look and Susanna's jealous eyes. My chest felt heavy. I entered the bathroom, closed the door, took a deep breath, ran water down my palms, and as I turned, Andre blocked my path. "So, you slept with my father, huh?" uttered his smirk. "So much for you being a saint. That should have been me, not him." I ignored him and tried to leave, but he wouldn't move. He blocked me. "If you sleep with me, I'll break up with Alyssa and marry you," he added, that annoying smirk still on his lips. "How dare you?" My voice broke as tears ran down my face. "You have no remorse, none. Do you even remember how you told me at Alyssa's birthday party?" "Hold. None of your goddamn business." He shut her down. "Today is about our son. Stop throwing jealous tantrums." Susanna shut her mouth immediately. "Tell me about yourself, Alyssa." Richard spoke, changing the subject. Alyssa frowned at me, then cleared her throat. "Sir, my name was Alyssa. I just finished college. I majored in human resources. She'll be a great addition to the company," Andre said proudly, smiling. I felt a hurt in my chest. I never went to college. Mom and Dad had told me they couldn't afford it, yet they sent Alyssa, even though she was younger than me. Richard noticed. He took my hand gently. "You okay?" he asked, his eyes fixed on me. I forced a smile. "Just a little tired. I'm okay." His hand slid up my cheek. He whispered, his eyes never leaving mine. "It's my fault. I didn't let you get enough rest last night." His fingers brushed down my arm, making it clear what he meant. I bet they all heard him. The whole table went still. Mom suddenly slammed her napkin on the table. "I can't take this anymore." "Don't you have any shame, Elena?" Richard finally tore his gaze from me and turned to Mom, his brows drawn together. "You can't disrespect my partner in my house. What terrible manners, Mrs. Cross. Why did you speak to Elena like that?" My heart skipped. I turned to him in awe, the word partner ringing.
Birthday party, and I thought she could be the one. But I was wrong. Elena had absolutely nothing to offer me, and now you can see why. Going after my father like a cheap whore? Don't call her that. Richard's voice cut him down instantly. "I'm sorry, Richard, but he's lying." I finally found the courage to speak, my voice trembling but steady enough to expose it all. "I'm sorry, Richard, but he's lying." I finally found the courage to speak, my voice trembling but steady enough to expose it all. "He cheated on me," I confessed, "and then he left me at the altar for my sister," Richard exclaimed, confused. And I could feel the tension in the room. Richard looked at me with disbelief, and Andre looked like he wanted to sink into the ground and disappear. "Wait, the day we met, you were supposed to marry my son?" Richard's eyes searched mine, needing answers. "Yes," I said. "Your son asked me to marry him, and on the day of our wedding, he confessed that he had cheated on me with Alyssa, my own sister. And then he left with her. He left me broken at the altar. That was the night I ended up in the club, and that's where you found me." Richard's gaze shifted to Andre. Andre stiffened. "Dad, don't listen to her," Andre said, but Richard was clearly furious. "Andre, you've got some explaining to do. What the bloody hell is this?" Richard demanded. Andre swallowed hard. "Dad, I can explain. You asked me to get married, to settle down, so you wouldn't cut me off. That's exactly what I was doing. But then I realized Elena wasn't the right fit. Alyssa was better." "You were going to get married behind my back?" Richard's anger was rising like fire. "That's why I didn't go through with it," Andre muttered. "Tell him what you told me," I shot back. "Shut your mouth, Elena," Andre snapped. "Don't talk to her like that," Richard fired back. "I told him that I wasn't ready to have sex with him until my wedding night, and he convinced me to agree to a hasty wedding. But on our wedding day, he confessed that it was all a bet he made with his friends to sleep with me until he and Alyssa fell in love. That's why he led me to the altar. But then, at the last minute, they both decided to shame me. They left me brokenhearted. She's lying, Dad, Andre countered quickly. He turned to Alyssa, who had refused to leave. She stood silently behind him. She was just seducing me in the bathroom. You heard Alyssa confirm it, Dad. He kept his face straight. You're such a liar, Andre, I blurted again. You told me in the bathroom to sleep with you, that you'd take me back and leave Alyssa, but I turned you down. Richard paced the room like a man enraged. Andre, I'll deal with you later. Get out. Andre clenched his jaw, his fists curling, but he knew better than to defy his father now. He stomped out, his fists twisted in frustration and anger directed at me. Alyssa followed him. Richard stared at me quietly for a moment, and the silence felt suffocating. Richard's eyes burned as they shifted back to me. Of my love me at the altar. I swore. Oh, you were just for, he retorted. Oh, quickly. Even know he was your son. This morning after we made love, Andre came to the house. That's when I found out about it. Why didn't you tell me? Even at the point of the contract, you should have said it. I was too ashamed to say it, I whispered. And yes, a part of me wanted to get back at Andre. That's where it started. His jaw flexed. So you lied to me. You used me to get back at my son. Not exactly, I said fast. It started off like that, but it's more now. He cursed under his breath. I should have run a background check. I'm sorry, I said, feeling like I should have told him. He reached out, his hand brushed my cheek. No, I'm the one who was sorry for what he did to you. His mother and I got it wrong with Andre. I buried myself in work. Susanna drowned herself in alcohol and her despicable nightlife. No one raised him. I'm sorry he hurt you. Believe me, I'll make him pay for it. He's still your son, I whispered. That gave him no right to do what he did to you. His eyes hardened. I was going to reinstate him, but after this, he'll get nothing, and that will just be the beginning. I swallowed. So I suppose that means we're over. I'm sorry for trying to use you. I thought if I stood with you on their wedding day, it would be the perfect revenge. I thought I'd feel less ashamed. I exhaled. He looked at me. I can't be with my son's fiancé. My eyes watered. It shouldn't hurt this much. I'd known the truth would end us, but it still felt like heartbreak. I didn't want to leave him. Not after I'd gotten used to his scent, his voice in the mornings, the nights he held me. Still, maybe leaving was better before I drowned any deeper. Goodbye, Mr. Wellington. I turned to leave, but his hand caught mine. Wait, we still have a 30-day contract. You can't leave. You're mine until this contract ends. He held my hand possessively.
You're mine until this contract ends. He held my hand possessively. For a second, my lips almost curved into a smile. At least I'd still have him for a while. But then his eyes stayed on me, piercing and cold. And I'll still let you have your plan. I'll stand with you at their wedding. My breath caught. Why? Why would you do that for me? Because Andre messed up, and I won't let them make a fool of you. Heat rushed to my cheeks. I felt my chest rise. He wanted me, but he didn't stop. I need Susanna to believe we're in a relationship. I'll never take her back no matter how she schemes with Andre. So this isn't only about you. The warmth drained from my face. Of course, I should have known. It wasn't about me. He doesn't love me. Wait, where did that thought even come from? I knew the deal. He could never love me. I guess I'm already falling hard for him. His fingers tilted my jaw up to face him, locking me into his eyes. We'll be together in front of everyone, but between us, we're done. By the time I opened my eyes, he was already dressing. His shirt was perfectly starched, shining white, and his black trousers looked expensive. He was wearing his cufflinks, getting ready for work. He hadn't touched me all night. He had barely looked my way. I wanted to reach for him, to touch him, but I knew I shouldn't. We went down for breakfast. As we sat, Andre stood up. I have an announcement. Alyssa and I are moving back in. Not alone. We're moving in together. I felt sick. Richard looked at me to see how I would react. Andre's moving in with Alyssa, I said, my eyes dropping. It hurt, and I kept my face down. Richard reached across and took my hand warmly. I looked up and forced a smile. Sometimes it felt like he cared. Like now. The way he looked at me made me fall for him even more. Susanna cut in, irritated by the way Richard looked at me. I thought she would be out of this house by now. She's a whore. She was just with your son. Why are you with the woman who was with our son? Richard countered her immediately. Don't you dare speak to Elena like that, unless you plan to blindly support your son. He left her at the altar for his sister, the woman he was cheating with. Elena has the right to do whatever she wants with whoever she wants. If she chooses me and I want her, what's the problem? Andre jumped up. Dad, she was my fiancé, Your ex, Richard cut in. Yes, you heard right, your ex. And now she's my partner. You and your mother will have to deal with that. He leaned back, trying to regain his calm. About your wedding. It's in 7 days. I've already contacted the wedding planner. No, Susanna burst in. It's my son's wedding. I'll be the one in charge. I want the best for him. Richard gave her a look. He's your son, fine. Then he turned to me. Elena, I'm off to work. Will you see me to the door? I nodded quickly, heart pounding. Everyone's eyes followed us as I walked beside him. At the door, he paused. His hand brushed mine. If there's any problem, call me, okay? Okay, I whispered. He leaned close. His scent was expensive and alluring. For a second, I thought he'd kiss me. He stopped and said, I'll see you when I get back. Then he left. As I turned, Alyssa was there. She grabbed my arm and pulled me down the hall, away from the others. How dare you embarrass Mom, Dad, and me? Even Andre, she hissed. You're my sister, I explained. Why do you have no care for me at all? Alyssa's smile was cold. I see right through your innocent act, your fake act. I will never fall for it. I didn't know how she could say those words to her very own sister. Maybe she didn't even care how they hurt me. Mom and Dad want to see you. They're so disappointed. Of course. They'll take your side, like always. Then Susanna walked up, laughing. Her eyes flashed. I see you two fighting, but you should know, Richard is my husband. I will never let him go to you. She stepped closer, her eyes warning me as her lips spat venom. You'd better leave him, or I'll make your stay in this house a living hell. I went back to my parents' house that afternoon. I thought maybe now that Alyssa, their favorite child, wasn't there, they would understand me. Maybe they'd finally show me some care. But when I sat down, the first thing Mom said was, So you couldn't even keep Andre? You've jumped from son to father, and you think that makes you respectable? My dad didn't stop her. He even added, You think being in that house makes you one of them. You'll always be nothing more than the girl we raised out of pity. My heart fell heavy. Am I really your daughter? The words came out before I could stop them. I left. I walked all the way back to the mansion, lost in my thoughts.
I couldn't even feel my legs. I didn't know if the people I grew up calling my parents had ever loved me at all.
As I arrived at the mansion, Richard was already in the living room. He knew I was a mess the moment he saw my face. He pulled me close and kissed me. His lips were warm and desperate. He didn't care if anyone was watching us, even Andre and Alyssa standing there. He took me to his room and laid me down. His hands were on my skin, his breath hot against me, tingling everywhere it touched. But then he stopped. His forehead rested against mine and his chest moved hard, like he was fighting with himself. We slept with our backs to each other that night, not saying a word. The next morning, he kissed my cheek. "Someone will pick you up later. We'll have dinner out," he said, and then he left for work. When I went to get ready, my wardrobe was empty. I could smell smoke. I followed the scent and my jaw dropped. Susanna had burned all my clothes. I had nothing left to wear. My phone buzzed with Richard's calls, but I silenced them. I didn't know what to say. Later that evening, Richard came back. I told him what had happened, that Susanna had burned my clothes and I had nothing to wear. His jaw clenched. I expected him to shout, but he didn't raise his voice. I could see the anger in his eyes. He took my hand. "Come with me." We went to a boutique in the city. He bought dresses, shoes, and bags, all designer, and the salespeople carried them out in fancy bags. Back at the mansion, butlers carried arms full of them up to my room, while everyone watched. Susanna stood at the foot of the stairs, pale with rage. Alyssa's eyes filled with the same jealousy as Susanna's. Richard turned to me. "Hate. We'll make sure you regret every second," Alyssa hissed. "We'll make your life miserable," Susanna promised. I walked away, trying not to show how scared I was. By afternoon, I was coming down the stairs when my foot hit soap water on the floor. I slipped and crashed hard in the hallway. Pain shot through my knee. I cried out, clutching it. "Alyssa, please help me. I'm your sister," I begged, even though she had betrayed me. She looked at me coldly. "You are definitely not my sister." She didn't move to help. Neither did Susanna. I dragged myself to my room and shut the door. That night, Richard came home and found me in bed. He sat with me, cleaned the cut with cotton wool, and placed a plaster over it. His lips brushed the wound, then his mouth found mine. His kiss was deep and slow. He kissed every part of me he could reach, sweet and fierce at the same time. "Damn it," he whispered, and then he finally let go of his holdback. His arms wrapped around me like he'd never let me go. For a while I forgot the pain, the fear. I only felt him. This morning the house felt quiet, as if Susanna and Alyssa had already done what they wanted, but they hadn't finished. At lunch they brought me food. Alyssa came with it and tried to make peace. "I'm sorry you got hurt, Elena. We're sisters after all," she said. "Thanks for bringing me food, but this doesn't make up for all you've done," I replied. "She promised I'll make up for everything if you just give me the chance." I forced a smile at her and took a few bites, but soon my stomach flipped. My body grew weak and dizzy. I called Richard immediately, then the phone slipped from my hand as I started to go unconscious. It felt like minutes later when he rushed back, his face pale, his movements frantic. He gathered me into his arms, forced water down my throat, and called the doctor. The doctor arrived, treated me, and then said I'd been poisoned. When I woke up later, Richard was standing in the living room. His face was cold. He spoke slowly, and everyone fell silent. "If anything happens to Elena again, you're both out of this house. Get out right now." Susanna dropped to her knees, begging. "Richard, please, the wedding is too close. Don't do this." "Please, Mr. Richard, I'm sorry. It will never happen again," Alyssa begged. "Dad, this is my mom and my fiancé. What are you doing, Dad?" Andre challenged him. I reached for Richard's hand and begged him with my eyes to let them stay. Let them stay, for now. His jaw tightened. But he looked at me and then at them. Finally, he nodded. For now. But if either of you tries one more thing, I'll throw you both out." The church bells rang, announcing Alyssa and Andre's wedding day. I never thought I'd find myself here. After everything they did to me, after being left at the altar and betrayed by my own sister, I swore I'd never let them drag me into their happiness. I refused to stand as Alyssa's bridesmaid. Still, I came. I told myself it was to show strength, but sitting there watching them, it felt like torture. As Andre and Alyssa exchanged their vows, the memory of my own humiliation rose in my chest. I lowered my head, tears slipping down. Every word they said hurt even more, reminding me of how they both ruined me. Richard's hand slid into mine. I looked up, his eyes already on me. I smiled, and suddenly the pain disappeared. His touch made it easier, and I realized all I could see in that moment was him. I couldn't lie to myself anymore or deny it. I had fallen head over heels in love with him. At the reception, Richard couldn't get his hands off me. He kissed me as we danced. "May I have a second with you both?" Andre's voice came. We turned. He stood there, his face tense but softer. "Dad, I just want to apologize to Alina and to you as well. What I did was wrong. I know now that I never should have left you at the altar. I never should have strung you along. I should have said it, that Alyssa and I had fallen for each other. I should never have let it get that far." Richard's jaw tightened. "Oh, so you're just figuring that out now. You're my son, but you've been a douchebag." "You're right, Dad. Anything you call me, you're right. I'm so sorry, Dad. Alina, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Dad, please." Richard's arm brushed against me. "Alina is the one who deserves your apology. If she forgives you, then I'll try to reduce the punishment for your actions." "You hurt me, Andre," I said, my voice trembling. "And you had no remorse. With my own sister, you could have chosen anybody else. You embarrassed me and my family. You ruined my relationship with my sister, and for what? You could have just told me. Why would you betray me?" "I'm so sorry," he said, his voice cracking. "I'm so sorry. I would kneel and ask for forgiveness." He began to lower himself, but I stopped him. "It's fine. If you hadn't left me the way you did, if you hadn't ditched me, I would never have met your dad, Richard." I smiled as I turned to Richard, and we both stared at each other with intense chemistry. Then I looked back at Andre. "What you did to me gave me the best moment of my life. My happiest moments have been with your dad. So I forgive you." Andre shifted. Discomfort flashed across his face at the way I spoke about his father, but he kept quiet. Alyssa appeared, our parents and Susanna trailing behind her. "Why are you apologizing, Andre?" Alyssa spat with disdain. "You did absolutely nothing wrong. Couldn't she use her common sense to know that we were together? I mean, all the signs were glaring. You could never be with someone like her." "You're my sister, Alyssa. Why would you ever talk like this? Even Andre can ask for forgiveness. What is your problem?" "You're not my sister, and you are my problem," Alyssa shot back. "This isn't the first time you've said that. Why are you saying this to me?" "Because you are just some orphan they had pity on and took in, but you are definitely not one of us." My heart froze. "Dad? Mom? What's she saying?" My mom cleared her throat. "Elena, Alyssa is right. You are not our biological child. We were having problems having children. We adopted you. But right after we adopted you, we had Alyssa. And you were just so bright, such a good child. You were everything we wanted Alyssa to be, but she was not. I guess we took it out on you. We are so sorry." My dad's eyes glistened. "Elena, you are the best daughter any father could ever have, and I'm sorry your mom and I didn't show you as much love as we should have." "Don't shame yourself any further, Alyssa," Mom cautioned her, for the first time ever. But Alyssa sneered. "We don't have to pretend, Dad, Mom, in front of Richard.
You've both said how you wish you could return her to whatever rat hole you brought her out of. I turned to my parents. Is it true? Did you ever want to let me go? Their silence told me everything. My chest ached as tears blurred my vision. I knew it, Susanna shouted with wicked excitement. You are gutter trash, classless, and you thought you could be with Richard? Tears bled my vision. I turned from all of them and ran. My heart pounded, chest burning. Elena! Richard's voice thundered as he broke away from them, running after me. Richard, don't go after her! Susanna's voice rang behind him, but he didn't care. His footsteps followed me through the garden, faster, louder, until strong arms grabbed me from behind. Let me go, Richard. I struggled against him, tears burning my eyes. It's over. Today was the last day of our contract. Thank you for helping me with my revenge plan, even though Andre was your son. But now it's all over. They're married. I tried to pull away, but he held me tighter. Elena, contract or not, I don't ever want you out of my sight. He refused to let me go. He held me possessively. I've been rejected by my parents, rejected by my sister, rejected by my ex-fiancé, your son, Andre. I can't stomach rejection again, but I will never stomach being rejected by you. My voice broke, sobs tearing through me. I'm in love with you, Richard, and I know you can never be with me. I don't even know who my real family is, if I even have one. So please, just let me be. I stepped forward, but his grip only tightened, pulling me back against his chest. I don't bloody care about any of that, he growled. I want to be your family, Elena. I froze, my heart racing, and turned to look at him. His eyes burned into mine. Yes, he said, almost as if he had been fighting it with himself. I denied it. I thought the whole 30-day contract was about power, about control. After what Susanna did to me, I swore I'd never lose control to a woman again. But I was only fooling myself. I fell for you the very first day I saw you, the very first night I met you at that club. I knew. All of this, your revenge against Andre, my game with Susanna, it was never the truth. The truth is, I didn't want to admit I wanted to keep you. Not for 30 days, for always. What are you saying to me, Richard? My voice trembled as tears blurred my eyes. He lifted his hand, his thumb brushing away my tears with a tenderness I had never seen in him. I'm crazy in love with you, Elena Cross, and I will never let you go. But we won't work, I whispered. There's Susanna and Andre. They'll stand against us. A laugh rumbled in his chest, like his family could never be an obstacle to us. Then marry me. I blinked. What? Marry me, Elena Cross. I don't know what to say. Say yes. His eyes searched mine like they owned me. A shaky laugh escaped me through my tears. Yes, yes, I'll marry you. His mouth crashed onto mine, kissing me with such passion and intensity that the world melted away. Our parents, Alyssa, Andre, Susanna, none of them mattered anymore. The taste of him, the taste of fire between us was more than I could bear, yet I never wanted it to end. In between the kisses, I gasped, "Isn't it too soon? Your family? They'll never consent." "I'm yours," he whispered against my lips, "and your family will just have to accept it." I shook my head, breathless. "I don't have a family." "Wrong," he murmured, cupping my face. "I'm your family now. Remember that." Another kiss stole my breath, hotter, deeper, until I thought my heart might burst. A laugh slipped from my lips as I pulled that just enough to look into his eyes. "This time, I have a groom that will stay." He teased with a crooked smile, his gaze burning into me. "I'll burn whatever stands in my way of being with you. I will never let you go. You are mine now and forever, Elena Cross." His arms crushed me closer, his smile fierce, and his lips claimed mine again. And in that moment, I knew it. Everything that had happened had led me here to find my perfect match. I had fallen for my ex-fiancé's father, and he was the best thing I could have ever imagined happening to me. I hope you enjoyed this story. Falling for my fiancé's dad with Richard and Elena, as much as I enjoyed writing it. Hit the bell icon and subscribe for more captivating romance stories.
My name was Elena Cross, and today was the best day of my life. Alex found me worthy enough to be his bride. Gosh, I was so lucky. My bridesmaid and sister was right behind me. Our parents never allowed me to have friends. So I was stuck with her daily, tormenting me. Alyssa never liked me, but at least today she was standing beside me. That had to count for something. I looked into Alex's eyes, and God, the butterflies wouldn't stop in my stomach. Not until when he confessed. You wouldn't have sex with me until our wedding, so I've been having an affair with Alyssa. I can't lose her over a damn bet I had with my friends to get you to have sex with me. I'm sorry. I can't marry you, Elena. What? Tell me you're joking. I tricked myself with an illusion I preferred instead. One where we got married and Alyssa only sat watching. But it wasn't real. While I was lost in my own thoughts, he left with her. I dreaded the thought that popped up in my head of her being his bride in my place. I couldn't accept it. I went after him, ignoring the low mockings and murmurs of the people who had come to witness our wedding. I was his bride, not Elisa. Wait, please, don't go, I begged. The car sped off anyway, leaving me behind. I found myself back home, broken-hearted. My own fiancé had left me for my sister. I was tired of being weak, pitying myself. Call me reckless, but I was done being the fool. I took my life into my own hands. So I raided Alyssa's wardrobe. She had stolen my man. The least she could do was let me have a dress from her closet. I was never allowed to be in one, but my feet carried me to a club. I flirted with strangers. I was free to do whatever I wanted until he came, and my heart skipped. I didn't even know this gorgeous stranger, yet I felt an intense pull toward him I couldn't explain. Come with me, he whispered. I didn't hesitate. I knew what was about to happen, and for some strange reason, I was ready to give to him what I never could give to Andre. We were in his room, on his bed. His lips crashed against mine. His hand moved over my body, commanding it like it belonged to him. He touched me like a man who was already in love with me. He kissed me like he owned me. And we made love. The night was fire, tangled in heat and breathless kisses, and I found him impossible to resist. It should have been Andre I lost my virginity to, but instead, it was the stranger. I couldn't be happier that it was him. Thoughts of Andre drowned out by a passionate connection between me and this man I didn't even his name. I hummed to myself as I walked through his mansion. Was this really all his? Who was this man? Then the doorbell rang. I opened it and froze. Andre stood there. Every thought of him and Alyssa's betrayal came flooding back. Shame, anger, disappointment. Hate all hit me at once. I could barely breathe. Andre looked at me, shock flashing in his eyes, and I wondered, why was he standing at the door of my mystery billionaire's house? Did they know each other? What was going on?
Son, I didn't know you were here. Wait, what? Did he just call him son? My heart slammed hard against my chest. What was going on? Panic raced through me.
Dad, I thought you weren't home, Andre said with a smile, hugging him. I froze, more confused than ever. Then Andre glanced back at me and smirked. What, Dad, you helping strays now? He mocked. How dare he, after leaving me at the altar? What do you mean? My mystery billionaire asked, raising a brow. Andre gestured toward me. She's my guest, my mystery billionaire said firmly. So don't be rude, and besides, if I remember right, you moved out, didn't you? This isn't your home anymore. That's exactly what I came to talk about, Dad. Andre gave me an uncomfortable look before turning back to him. Can we go to your study? My mystery billionaire nodded, and the two of them went upstairs. I stood there in shock, my mind spinning. Then an idea slipped in. What were they talking about? Quietly, I climbed the stairs and stopped outside the study door. I pressed my ear close, holding my breath. And I heard it. Dad, I want to get married, Andre said. Congratulations, son. My mystery billionaire sounded excited. I want to meet this woman and her family. Of course, Dad, I'll arrange it. So, are you going to set me back up now? Andre, I cut you off because you're careless and don't care about the family business. Get married successfully and everything I own will be yours. Andre laughed, excited. Thanks, Dad. It sounded like they were both getting up. I ran back down the stairs into the living room, but only Andre was there, his face twisted with anger. What are you doing here? Tell me right now, he barked. It's none of your business, I shot back, furious. He grabbed me hard. Don't even think about messing this up for me, Elena. Did you sleep with my father? Tell me. I don't have to tell you anything, I spat. How could you, Andre? How could you leave me at the altar only to try and marry my sister? How could you have no remorse? Do you even have a heart? He sneered. I told you, Elena, we only got that far because of a stupid bet. I should have ended things sooner. But that doesn't give you the right to be here. What do you mean? You think I'm here for revenge? For you ditching me? I don't care what you mean, he snapped. Get out of this house. Yes, I left you, but things like that happen every day. You're not the first woman dumped at the altar, and you won't be the last. Don't take it personal. Get out, or I'll make your life a nightmare. You just threatened me. How dare you? I shouted. Andre's eyes burned as he leaned closer, his voice a snarl. No, Elena, how dare you? You said you were a virgin. You said you didn't want to sleep with me. And yet, here you are, almost naked in a dress that's not even yours. You refused me, but now you show up like some cheap whore? Tell me, Elena, did you sleep with my father? What's going on here? My mystery billionaire's voice echoed as he came in. His eyes moved between Andre and me as we glared at each other. Andre's hard look softened at once. Nothing, Dad. I was just trying to get to know the stranger you brought home. Stranger? Did he just call me stranger? My chest tightened. Who is she, Dad? Why is she even in our house? She's my guest. Not yours, my mystery billionaire said. Aren't you supposed to be leaving now? I am, but... Andre started. When my dad brings a strange woman home, I have to look out for him. Look out for him? A strange woman? My eyes filled with tears. He was denying me. Andre, I'm your father. You have no right to question me, my mystery billionaire snapped. Look out for yourself. Remember what we talked about. Prove yourself to me. I will, Dad. I will, Andre said, hurried and nervous. All right. See you later, Dad. He turned to me. Would you mind walking me to the door? I followed him down. He muttered under his breath. I don't know what game you're playing, but I'll find out. Then he left. I didn't know what to feel. Anger, pain, heartbreak, everything at once. Then my mystery billionaire put his arms around me and my heart softened. For a moment, I forgot why I was upset. I hope my son didn't give you a hard time, he said. He's your son? I asked, barely holding my breath. Yes, Andre is my son.
my mystery billionaire answered. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I'm fine, I whispered. You weren't in bed this morning, he asked with a small laugh. No, I wanted to walk around your beautiful mansion, I said, stumbling over my words. He chuckled and asked, Tell me, what's your name? I hesitated for a second, but the way he looked at me made the words slip out before I could even stop them. Elena, I said. You're so beautiful, he smiled. Thank you, I murmured, a little embarrassed. So, tell me, Elena. He leaned in, looking right into my eyes. Why did you give up your virginity to a stranger from a nightclub? My face burned. You noticed? Was I that bad? I'm sorry, I was so inexperienced, I murmured. No, he said softly. You were perfect for your first time. He wrapped his arms around me. I knew you were a virgin the moment I drove into you. I flushed at his words. Do you regret it? He asked, watching me. No, I blurted. I don't regret it. I loved every moment of it, I added before I could think. He chuckled. How do I keep you, Elena? Keep me? I repeated. 30 days, he said. I want you as my lover for the next 30 days. What do you say? I don't think that's a good idea. I should go, I stammered. He pulled me back toward him. I would give you anything you want. Name it. Unless he could take back the last 48 hours, there was absolutely nothing he could do to make my life any less of a mess than it already was, I thought to myself. I looked at him, then shook my head. I don't want anything, I answered. You don't even have the power to give me what I want, but thank you for a great night. It was the best first time. Do you know who I am, Elena? No, I replied. I didn't have the courage to ask him about his identity. Tell me. I immediately said, I'm Richard Wellington. Wellington? The name rang a bell. Why did that name ring a bell? Do you realize who you're talking to now? Are you Richard Wellington, the owner of Wells Airways?
His lips curled into a proud smile, confirming it. Of course I was right. The moment he brought me into this mansion, I knew he was a billionaire. And then it hit me. Andre was his son, a billionaire heir. That explained Andre's arrogance and his pride. But I still couldn't do it. I couldn't be his lover for 30 days. A one-night stand was one thing. An affair with my fiancé's father was another. I couldn't let Andre say I was only there to get revenge when I didn't even know who his father was. I don't want anything, I said. Thank you for the night. He grabbed me again, pulling me close, kissing me, his hands moving over me. He murmured as he touched me and his lips pushed me toward yes. I almost got lost in his kisses and his touch. For a moment, I almost agreed. Then I pulled away fast. I can't accept your offer. I'm sorry. I ran upstairs to the room and packed. I had to go home. Back at my house, Mom and Dad sat in the living room smiling like they had good news. What's going on? I asked. Good news, Dad said, beaming. Your sister is getting married. No way, I said, hoping I'd heard wrong. Alyssa is getting married? To who? To Andre, of course, Mom laughed. I wanted to disappear. They made it so clear she was their perfect daughter, not me. Mom, you've got to be joking, I said. No! Don't be silly. Alyssa walked in and spoke up. Just because you had a failed wedding doesn't mean I'll let Andre go. What? I said. Don't take any more shame on you, Mom told me. The best thing you can do now is support your sister and let the family cover this up. You have shamed yourself and this family enough.
by bringing the man who didn't want you to the altar. Mom snapped. You don't have a choice. You are going to support your sister. Stand by her as she marries Andre. Do you understand me? What? I felt like I was dreaming. I'm your daughter too. Why don't you show me half the love you show Alyssa? Why do you treat me like a stranger? Shut your mouth, Mom cut me off. This isn't about you. It's about Alyssa. Do you even know the man she's marrying? She's made us proud by bringing Andre, a billionaire, into the family. Our money will change. You don't think we'll pass up that offer because of your broken heart? Get used to it. Andre will be my son-in-law, and you will stand behind me as she walks down the aisle. Alyssa laughed and stared at me like I was nothing. They all seemed fine with it. Tell me this is a joke, I begged. Dad, Mom, surely you won't let my sister marry the man who left me at the altar. He left you, not us. He'll be your sister's husband now. You have to accept it, with a smile. Be thankful to him and to Alyssa for saving our family's name. They all laughed, and it felt like a knife. I couldn't take it. I left. I ran. Straight back to my mystery billionaire Richard's house. He was so happy to see me that he grabbed me as soon as I arrived. Have you come back to accept my offer? His eyes stayed on mine, waiting for my answer. My heart pounded in my chest because of the choice I was about to make. I was going to go against my family for the first time in my 24 years, and I knew it wouldn't end well. But I couldn't go back. Everyone had turned against me. Alyssa, Mom, Dad, Andre. For once, I would think only of myself. Yes, I said. He smiled, wrapped his hands around me, and kissed me. We kept kissing until he pulled me into his arms and led me to the bedroom. He made love to me again, and I loved every second of it. This is dangerous, Elena, I told myself, but there was no going back now. Richard was the perfect distraction from Andre, and I let myself smile as my head rested on his chest. I fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. When I opened my eyes, my hands reached for the bed and felt nothing. Richard wasn't there. I sat up and saw a red file beside me. I picked it up and opened it. It was a contract. My breath stopped. The paper said Richard wanted to pay me $10 million at the end of a 30-day agreement. I didn't know how to feel. Excited that I could become a millionaire, or angry that he was trying to buy me off like I was some cheap whore. You're finally awake. His voice pulled me out of my thoughts. Yes, I was reading this. What is this? I told you, Elena. I'm willing to give you whatever you want. I'll double it, triple it even, if the number there isn't good enough. What? No, it's not that. I'm not some object you can just pay to acquire. I don't want your money. I don't understand. Isn't that what you came back for? No, I came back because... I paused, holding myself back from saying the truth. The truth was that I was here for revenge. I wanted them to look me in the eye. Mom, Dad, Alyssa, and Andre, all four of them, when they saw me with him. It wasn't about money. And yes, I was also here because I wanted to be. I wanted him, but money had nothing to do with my decision. And of course, I couldn't exactly tell him the truth. I'm sorry, I don't want your money, Mr. Richard, I said instead. He looked at me puzzled. Everyone wants money. Not me, Mr. Richard. Then what do you want? Everybody has a price. If money is not yours, then what is? I just want to be with you. That's all. I see where this is going, and I should make it clear. I don't do relationships, Elena. Don't ever think of getting pregnant for me. It wouldn't hold me, nor will I take responsibility for that child.
God, he was just making it worse. Now I could see where Andre got it from. He was just as proud as his son. I don't want to get pregnant for you. And you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want this. I started getting off the bed, but just as I got to the door, I paused. What was my option if I left? Going back to be Alyssa's bridesmaid, watching my fiancé, the man who left me at the altar, marry my sister Alyssa who betrayed me, my parents, who never failed to remind me how much Alyssa was better than me. The thought was dreadful, so I turned back to him. I don't want your money, and I don't want any attachments to you either. He frowned. What are you not saying, Elena? I just want the distraction. That's what I want. Don't ever ask me any questions about me. I just want to have this, whatever it is, that we have. And in 30 days, we'll part ways. Okay? Fair enough. But you still have to sign the contract. There's no need. You already said I don't want the money. Yes, you said that. And a couple of seconds later, you were walking out the door, no longer interested. I don't play games, Elena. Sign the contract and I own you for 30 days. I took it from him, flipped through the pages, and signed the last one. There you have it. I promise you, Elena, you won't regret your decision. He caressed my chin, kissing it again. And all I could think was how much I couldn't wait to see their faces when they saw me with Richard. Whilst Alyssa walked down the aisle with Andre, I would be in Richard's arms. Okay, I'll go back home and pack up then, Mr. Richard. He chuckled. We signed the contract. You don't have to call me Mr. Richard because of that. And you don't have to go anywhere. Everything you need will be provided. He smiled. Come in, Mary. Mary rolled in 2 racks filled with dresses on hangers. They swayed as she pushed them across the room. Welcome to my world, Elena. Richard's smile made my chest flutter sweetly. He was so attractive, too attractive, and I found myself biting my lip before I quickly caught myself. This is Mary, he added. She's in charge of your look. She'll make you exactly how I want you to. Thank you, but I can dress myself. You and I both know you don't get to choose. You do exactly what I say. No, I make my own decisions, I shot back. You can't, he said flat. Your decisions are mine. It's in the contract you signed. Crap. I just realized I didn't finish reading the entire contract before I signed it. Mary beamed. Don't worry, Elena. I'll take really good care of you. The boss has exquisite taste. I'll make sure you always look pleasing to his eyes. His eyes locked on mine. His lips brushed mine. We will be spending some time away from the house. Mary will get you prepared. There will be a car outside to bring you to me. Where will you be? I asked. I have some business to attend to at the company, but tonight I'll be all yours. He kissed me softly. See you tonight. He kissed my cheek and left, and I counted the hours. By 6 p.m., Mary came in. Within minutes, I was dressed in a royal blue spaghetti strap gown that brushed the floor, with a slit running high from the top of my thigh down. Isn't this too much? I bit my lip, turning to Mary. Trust me, Mr. Richard will love it when he sees you, she said with a knowing smile. And besides, this gives him easy access. Mr. Richard finds it irritating when clothes get in the way, if you know what I mean. Oh. Heat rushed to my cheeks. She pulled me into a seat, did my hair, and painted makeup onto my face. Come on now, she said. Charlie is downstairs waiting to take you to Mr. Richard. Who's Charlie? Mr. Richard's driver. Oh, but if Mr. Richard's driver is here, shouldn't he be with him? Mary laughed. Don't worry, Charlie is waiting just for you. She walked me downstairs and I slipped into the back seat of the car. Charlie drove me to a fancy 5-star restaurant, Lux. When the car stopped, I heard him say on the phone, "We're here, sir," probably to Richard.
And just as the car came to a halt, Richard stepped out of the restaurant. He wore a black, expensive suit and polished shoes. His eyes swept over me from head to toe, as if he was already claiming me. Mary was right. He looked like he loved what he was seeing. Mr. Richard, I coughed. Richard, I corrected quickly when he gave me a charming warning look. You look breathtaking. He smiled, clearly pleased, and I loved the sexy smile he threw at me. You like the way I look? I stared at him. He beamed. I love it. And what I like even more are the things I'll do to you afterwards, when we go back home. His eyes twinkled as he held my hand and led me into the restaurant. My gaze swept around the place in awe. This place must be so expensive. I could never dream of eating somewhere like this. I mumbled out loud as we settled into our reserved table. You're with me now. Get used to it. He waved his hand for the waiter. Soon our dishes were served, and I didn't waste a second diving in until I felt his dark gaze on me. My fork stilled. I make you curious, Elena. I could feel his eyes probing me. My eyes lifted slowly from my plate to his, but I didn't say a word. I want to know everything about you, Elena. You can't, I shook my head. That's not the deal. The deal is you don't ask me personal questions, and after 30 days, we both go our separate ways. And you agreed to it. I raised my eyebrow. Are you sure you did? His eyes glinted, like he had something up his sleeves. I don't understand. I shook my head. The contract you signed says something different, Elena. I tensed. You own me, Elena, and you have to do everything I say. You promised, I croaked. You are so naive, Elena. You should know better than to sign a contract based on a promise. He said it like it was a lesson.